reading the book Dude, You're a Fag, in which the teacher wanted to make a program where we could teach younger kids how not to be bullied. And
well, personally, this is my first time doing it. We actually looked over two books, Dude, You're a Fag and Gilleman by Jerry Kimmel. Gilleman, I like Gilleman more, only because I can relate to it. It more teaches you about masculinity, how it is to be a guy, what the actual guy code is, as to the author refers it. And also it just basically teaches young men that you really shouldn't judge a book by its cover. To be with a man, to be with a woman, or to be with somebody who's transgendered, I feel like doing this workshop will teach them, and they can hopefully encourage others to do the same and act.
Yeah, I'm pretty nervous right now. This is my first workshop with kids, with younger adolescents. It's a pretty new experience, but I'm definitely looking forward to it. So we'll see how it goes.
It's my first workshop ever.
wasn't he interviewed?
Are you going to be bullied in the importance of showing respect for people's gender and sexual orientation. You probably know that there's a kind of a trend of young people being very, very unhappy in school because they're bullied. It's a collection of information and it's a collection of stories that were compiled through interviews that we did. We asked people to anonymously tell us their stories of experiences that they've had with these issues.
In Springfield, Massachusetts, an 11-year-old boy named Carl Joseph Walker Hoover committed suicide by hanging himself. He did this in response to homophobic bullying. It is our hope that reading these stories will encourage people to have important conversations on the subject of everyday sexism, homophobia, and transgender. It is time to do something about these issues so that no more young people take their own lives.
I just wanted to be a friend to everyone. When I was younger, there was a kid in my 4th grade class. He had a high-pitched voice and was called less boyish. All the boys would tease him about being gay. I never really cared about what he was. It was none of my business. Plus, he was a pretty nice person. So I was nice to return. Until someone said that I think I was his boyfriend. On that note, I stopped talking to him as much. I didn't want everyone calling me gay, so I turned my back on a friend, just so I wouldn't end up like him, an outcast.
That story to me seems important because it's an example of somebody who is essentially a good person, who is not a bully, and who wants to do right by everyone that he meets. And he is bullied into turning his back on this student who is often bullied.
It was like that guy thought I owed him something, a very important something, namely my body, sexually. Just because I caught his eye and because I'm a woman, he was hurt that I had rejected him, so he told everyone I was a lesbian.
My story has to deal with how society perceives the figure of a man. After my coworkers started mocking me and calling me faggot, they couldn't understand how I rejected to have a drink with the most beautiful waitress in the restaurant, and maybe do some other things with her. For me, it's really interesting how people can call you homosexual and make fun of you for the simple fact of refusing to go out with a girl who does not catch your attention.
Every person who goes to school level, every young person should feel safe and good and respected at school, and that nobody has the right to treat another person disrespectfully.
We're going to write about if you ever experienced a bully situation or you have seen or witnessed
Anything that comes to mind, it's hard. This workshop today is that homophobia can be as something as small as calling someone, faggot or calling them gay or lesbian, to all the way to, like physically bullying, to beating them up, to, physical abuse. So it can be something so small all the way to that big. But the idea is that both, like everything in between, has an effect. especially on the person who's doing the bullying. And then not only that, but like the environment. So, for example, just because like you bully me doesn't mean that it stops at me. It kind of sends a message to everyone around you that like bullying is okay, or that it sends a message to me that like no one really cares, etc. But it's not like that. So. Like now we use gay as like, I don't know, like, yeah, like, oh, this book is so gay, I don't want to read it. When that's not, like, we use gay as like a bad, like to represent bad, something stupid, something not good. And it's, think about that. Are you Puerto Rican? That's like if someone says, oh, I don't want to read that book, that's so Puerto Rican. Like, it's the same exact thing, just in different kind of, now we're having this conversation. Hey, what's your problem, man?
Give me your phone.
Hey, give me that back. Come on. Hey, come on. Give me my phone. Come on, guys.
What would you do if you witnessed this scene? So is there anything else that we can say is a good way to intervene peacefully but strongly when you see something like this happening?
Be an advocate.
Be an advocate? So maybe just physically go and stand with the person being victimized and be like, you and me, let's come out of here. Because if I go and stand by the person being victimized, they're not like the weirdo alone anymore. Now you're like a unit. One of the things that we've been talking about is ways to peacefully intervene, because you don't want to get punished for having done the right thing, for standing up against a bully. So I think it has to be through speech, and it has to come in a way that addresses the disrespect. Suggestion, and right now in our class at
And not only that, but the resources that are there for not only yourselves, but your friends or for people you know, to get involved and to really just say something about it. So, yeah, that's all I gotta say.
Yes, thank you very much for that.
It was fun. The kids were into the program. They asked questions. They wrote their own stories, their personal bullying life story, which taught others and how they felt, and we understood each other. We did a play, and we talked about our own stories as well, and they just got involved. I didn't know the material. I just didn't know it was going to be so heart-touching, and people were very emotional the way it affected them, and even teachers came in to help out and hear us, and kids were raising their hands, which is surprising because they were from middle school, and they discussed with us, they had fun with it. But the most important thing is that each kid took it personally, and they shared with each other what was really hurtful and what happened to them. And personally, for me, it affects a lot because I didn't know how other people felt, especially about homosexual or heterosexual. Because for me, it's the same. For me, there's no problem with being different or what you like or the way you want to be. But hearing the kids tell their own story, it makes me feel some type of way that this is a program that's going to help not only just for the ones who are teaching, but those who are listening. Because it'll make a difference. It has to start little to become bigger.
It starts with being a mentor and then actually just taking up that higher level and putting them under your wing and then just letting them go and see how they do.
Hopefully, hope that the message got out there and these resources continue on and this conversation gets sprung and really spoken about, because it's definitely a conversation that needs to be had, not only in the state but across the country. Actually, this conversation isn't something that I've had until like high school, until late high school, and by then I've already seen it. I've been a part of it, but not directly a part of it. I was one of the many bystanders who just, like many people who did nothing to resolve the situation. And now, at an older age, I think I need to give back. I'm 19 years old, and I think I need to have this conversation with the people who are my age and let them know that these kind of things are happening in this country, across this state, across this whole world. And to really carry that kind of torch, to be able to speak up on it. So, yeah.
That's great. Would you do this again?
Oh, yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, definitely. Tenfold. I do it every day if I could. Well, how did it change my perspective on this? I think it was definitely a new thing to see, to kind of break the ice around the conversation. So it helped me it showed me that there is this ice that needs to be broken, that people don't want to talk about it because it's a taboo subject. But it definitely is something that needs to be talked about. So that's probably what, changed about me today, that showed me that there is this barrier between, those who are being bullied and those who are not. And I think this barrier needs to be broken down by having a conversation about it. So yeah.